Hello my friends, Aimee Esther here, and in today's video I just wanted to sit down and have a chatty little update with you. I typically do a health update at the end of each month here on my YouTube channel about my personal health, and it's only halfway through the month, but I just couldn't wait. There's so much going on that will be in that end of month update. But there's one thing in particular I wanted to just sit down and talk about and share a little bit more about with you today, and that is my upper cervical chiropractor. So I've been seeing an upper cervical chiropractor for quite a while now. I started at the end of December, so that's like 9 months of going a lot to do the chiropractor that is very far away from my house. And it's just, I'm kind of frustrated right now at my body. And anyway, I just want to share with you about that today. So let's just do an upper cervical chiropractor update. I'll share with you for people who are new, like what it is and what I've been doing there and how it's been helping and how it has been getting worse. So let's talk about that. Hey guys, if you're new here, I'm Aimee Esther, and I have multiple chronic illnesses. I suffer from lots of things, but I also have chronic migraines, and I've suffered for this for a really long time, since I was in high school. And it turns out I was in a car accident when I was around probably 16, and it was a pretty bad car accident. I was taken to the hospital. The reason I say it turns out I was in a car accident is because I forgot that I was in a car accident. I was going through a pretty traumatic time in my life. I've mentioned that here or there, which you guys, we need to talk about trauma, because many of my coaching clients, if you didn't know, I coach people who live chronically ill to help them live a better life while living chronically ill and change the way that they're thinking about their illness so that they can be happier and do more of what they want with their life. So I coach a lot of you, and I've just started to notice that it's not just me that had some trauma in my past. A lot of you guys have too. A lot of the people that I've coached have. Now, I'm not a therapist. I don't do therapy. So that, of course, is a different thing. But it's just kind of crazy noticing that in my clients, noticing that in myself. And I've been reading a book about how the brain and the body are connected, and if you don't deal with your emotions, that it's going to come out in another way. And wouldn't it make sense that having autoimmune diseases would result from trauma or from your brain not processing things the right way? I feel like that makes a lot of sense. Body's attacking itself because it's trying to attack something because you're not dealing with your emotions, or you've been in such a traumatic experience that it's impossible or really, really hard to deal with your emotions. So anyway, I think that's really interesting. That's actually not what this video is about, so that was a total side note. But the point is, we will talk about that soon. So if you guys, I'm curious, if anyone's experienced like trauma in their past and now suffers from chronic illness, will you let me know in the comments, and we will talk about that in a later video. I've been doing so much work on myself. It's insane, you guys. That's a whole nother story. I literally used to wake up screaming every night with nightmares and night terrors because of past trauma, and now I don't. It's incredible. So anyway, total side note, but we're going to talk about that in another video. So let me know in the comments if you've experienced that. Today's video is about my chiropractor. So back to the car accident. To deal with my trauma, my brain shut down. I don't remember anything. In fact, I've looked back at old pictures of like high school, which there weren't that many because I was not very social at that time. But I went to dances with people that I literally do not recognize. Don't recognize them. It's so crazy how the brain works. So because of that, I was in a car accident and completely forgot about it. And I went to the chiropractor, and I had been recommended an upper cervical chiropractor for a while now. I went and got a free consultation. He said, yeah, I think I can help you. I had spent so much money at that point that I decided, you know what? I'm not going to do that. It had been a very long time and a lot of money, and financially, emotionally, physically, I was done going to doctors. So I didn't go that route, even though he told me he thought he could help me. Many people had told me that before, so I was like, you know what, later, maybe, I don't know. Multiple years went by, probably like 4 years. I had a couple kids, and I was like, you know what, my migraines are getting worse. That is the thing he thought he could help me with, so I'm gonna go back. I promise we'll go back to the car accident. I know it seems like I just left that. That's part of the story. So I go back to the chiropractor after a few years, after I had my second baby. Migraines were getting worse. Same time I just happened to start my therapy for my trauma. Crazy time in my life, you guys. This has been a crazy year. So I go to the chiropractor, and he does an x-ray of my neck. Oh no, my battery's dying. Hold on. Okay, new battery. Here we are. Anyway, so go to the chiropractor. And I'm like, okay, I'm ready. Let's do this. Let's try this new thing out because I've tried everything else. So he does an x-ray, and he shows that the atlas and axis bones, the top 2 bones of my spine, were twisted. And he said they were like, I think 2 degrees. It was either up or down. And he said that's pretty normal in our day and age, like from looking at a phone. A lot of us have that small tilt. So that was 2 degrees. And then this way, these 2 were twisted opposite ways, 13 degrees apart from each other. Like from where they should be. They should be on top of each other, those bones, and mine were like this, 13 degrees. So he's like, yeah, that's not good. And he said, this is probably causing your migraines. And he's like, I'm not gonna make any crazy claims, but I've seen crazy stuff happen from these adjustments. Some of your other stuff, your other problems, symptoms might get better as well from this treatment. And I was like super excited. So by the way, I will be doing a Q&A with my chiropractor. I'm going to have him answer just a couple questions from him that I don't know how to answer. If you have more questions for me about this treatment, let me know about down below, and I will be asking him at my next appointment. I'll bring my camera and have him answer those. But basically, an upper cervical chiropractor is someone who specializes in the top 2 bones of the spine, the atlas and axis bones. He said sometimes people will be off like lower down on their back or their spine, and it's all because of that, the top 2. Like if those 2 are off, everything else can be thrown off. Not that every chiropractor thing is the top 2 bones. That's not what I'm saying. But some people just need just treatment on the top 2 bones. And it's not like other chiropractors you go to that are just everywhere. You can find one anywhere. It's not like that, where they do like the popping and cracking and all of that. It's a specialized machine. I'll put a picture right here of what it looks like. So this is how I describe it. I don't know if I'm describing it wrong. I'll have my chiropractor describe it better in that video, but it looks like a little needle, probably like this thick, that he puts on my neck. I lay down sideways, right? He puts it on my neck, and then he adjusts me according to where my x-ray showed that my bones were off or whatever. And he tells me to breathe in and breathe out. And while I'm breathing out, he presses some button. I don't know what it is. And it clicks. All I do is I hear a click, and then it's done. I feel nothing, like literally nothing. It's the weirdest thing. I don't feel any pain. I don't feel any popping. I don't feel any cracking. That's all it is. And then he sits me up, and the first time he sat me up, I was so dizzy and nauseous and just sick. Like I literally just felt sick, and I couldn't walk straight. The first time I got adjusted, that I probably looked like a monkey there, just itching. Anyway, the first time he adjusted me, I couldn't walk straight for like 3 days. And so what happens is he puts it back in place. And then after my first adjustment, my body is so used to being out of place that it just goes out super easily. Like I don't even need to do anything wrong, but it'll just go out. He says for the first 24 hours, don't lift anything, don't exercise, basically be super careful. And then after that, be careful about holding like a bag on one shoulder, anything that's uneven, carrying my baby on my hip, make sure I carry him centered and so it's all even. Just things like that to keep the hold, and then be careful with anything lifting up high. And yeah, so he just says kind of like be careful with certain things. After 24 hours, the first 24 hours of like, don't lift anything, don't exercise, just rest basically to keep it holding. But when you first get adjusted, because your body's so used to going back into place, you need to keep going back a lot because it's just going to keep falling out. Oh, you know what? I just forgot something. This is why I need notes, because I just went on a tangent. Let me just backtrack just a little bit. So he goes to do the first adjustment and he tells me that it's out of alignment. And then he says, this only happens if you're in a severe accident. Like you would have had to like fallen on your head or been in a really bad car accident. And I'm like, well, no, that's never happened. Like, what happened is I got food poisoning that never went away, and then it turned into all this craziness. And he's like, well, how long have you had migraines? I'm like, well, I guess my migraines started before that. They got worse when I got the rest of my problems, but like they started in high school, but I was really stressed at that time. So could stress just do it? And he was like, no, it would not be just stress. Like there are certain adjustments that just stress could like throw out of alignment, but both of them going different ways. He said if it was just stress, it'd probably be both of them are out the same way. But for them to be different ways is like you would have had to be in an accident. At the same time, I was starting therapy. I'd been to lots of therapists, but I actually went to a trauma therapist and started doing EMDR, which I need to do a video about that too. You guys, there's just so much that needs to be talked about here on my channel. It's coming, I promise. I promise. So anyway, I started doing EMDR. And because of that, I think it like opened up a lot of things that were happening at that time. My child is awake. Ari, I'm in here. My child is supposed to be doing quiet time, but clearly it's not very quiet. That's okay. Maybe she'll come join us in a minute. Mom life. You guys know how that is if you have children. Okay. Back to the story. So I was doing EMDR and it was opening up all this stuff from that time. And that's when I realized I forgot so much. And my chiropractor, like the third time I had talked to him, the third appointment, he'd ask me every time, like, there would have been an accident. Like, are you sure? Are you sure? And I think because I was doing EMDR and he kept asking me, it was like all of a sudden this memory triggered in my brain. And I was like, yeah, I was in a car accident when I was like 16. I think I was 16. I don't remember exactly, but somewhere in high school. And all that I remember is that no one was there. Like both my parents were not available and I couldn't call anyone. And I remember leaving my phone. My friend was driving and I remember my phone got left in the car after the accident and that someone put me in an ambulance and took me to the hospital. And I just remember not knowing if anyone was gonna know that I was there. That's like what I remember is right after the accident and being in the ambulance by myself without a phone and not knowing if anyone knew where I was going. So that was crazy. That was just such a crazy experience to like have such a big thing triggered back in my memory. I don't remember what happened after that, by the way. I'm guessing they just sent me home and said, you're fine, which apparently I wasn't because my neck was like that. But I don't remember if anyone picked me up or how I got home or what happened after that. I don't know. Crazy. Anyway, so back to the story. I remembered that, and that's when I was like, oh my gosh, I had migraines all through high school. And I just thought it was stress at the time, but now I'm pretty sure it was stress mixed with this neck thing that happened after that car accident. So that was really crazy experience to realize, and that I'd been suffering so long from something that was like a relatively, well, what I thought at the time, a relatively easy fix. So after I went to my first appointment and got my x-rays, and he started adjusting me and putting my neck back in place. Kind of like, I know, I kind of like skipped a little bit. I'm really bad at telling stories. I know. Why do you guys watch my channel? Let me know below. Why do you watch my channel? I don't know. Anyway, so the first couple appointments were twice a week because my neck, it was just so likely that my neck would go out. Now my chiropractor is over an hour. It's even farther now. I don't even know how far it is. It's pretty far from my house. We moved, so it's a little bit farther than it even was before. And I drive over an hour. I have to get someone to watch my kids because I can't lift them. It's a big pain in the butt to go. But I just was so hopeful that it would work after remembering that I was in a car accident and seeing how bad my neck was and seeing how sick I got after my adjustments. So the first couple weeks, probably the first month, I went twice a week until my neck started holding, meaning it was staying in place and not popping back out again. So it started holding, which was really exciting. And then we started doing once a week, and we did that for like a month, and then we started doing maybe like 2 months, I don't know. And then we started doing every other week, and this summer we got to once a month, and that was really exciting. At the beginning, I felt worse in like every way. First of all, I had started EMDR, which if any of you have done EMDR, wow, you guys, again, that needs a whole video, probably like 10 videos about EMDR because it's insane. But I was not sleeping. I was insane anxiety for months. I don't know how much I told you guys, but it was really bad. Like, this was like the beginning of this year, from like January to April, probably. I didn't sleep like at all. And night terrors, I wasn't sleeping. I'd been starting this chiropractor and it was making things worse. And I didn't know if it was the sleep or if it was the adjustments or what, but I was just overall feeling way worse. And then about June, I hit a big point in my therapy. It was like everything was getting worse in therapy, and then all of a sudden it started getting better. And at the same time, I just feel like this is a blessing from above that I started both these at the same time. I don't know. Someone's watching out for me up there. Now I'm going to cry. Sorry, get emotional here. Right at the same time, my neck started holding longer I think it did about a month in June. And I saw big changes, you guys. Like huge changes in my health, like overall health. Well, from my therapy, I was sleeping better. I was less anxious and all of that. And then from my chiropractor, I seriously had so much energy. If you guys know this, I painted my whole house. I promise I have videos coming out about it. I filmed everything. I filmed so much. I'm not totally done yet. There's just so much to do that I'm looking down, we don't have baseboards on our floors yet. And we just finished our floors last night. Anyway, it's a whole thing. But lots of videos coming out about my house and a tour. And I'm going to show you this whole makeover I did in my bedroom. I know, I've said that for like a month now, but I promise they're coming out. I promise. It's just, I've been very sick and we're going to talk about that. But things got so much better in like June and July, probably June. June was like really good. And that's when I moved out of my old house and we moved in with family for a month. So that was crazy. It was just really stressful for me. Not because my family was hard, they were awesome, but because I had animals and children that were destroying their house. And it was a little stressful for me, and I felt like I was always on edge of like stopping them from destroying things, and they just still destroy stuff. When it's my stuff, it doesn't really bother me, but when it's someone else's stuff, it's a little stressful. So we did it started to hold. I should go back. Okay, we got this. So bad at telling stories. But so it started to hold. My neck started to hold. My therapy started doing better. And I didn't realize how good I was doing until my neck went out again. So it was after we moved in, or maybe it was right before. It was right around the time we moved in with my family that my neck went out again. And it was like I knew the second it went out. Not only did I have a really bad migraine, I had no energy. And it made me realize how much energy I had before it went out. Like, so much more than I had experienced in years, you guys. Like, years. And it's one of those things, like, I didn't realize it until it was gone again, which made me so mad because I'm like, why do we do that? Why do we, like, notice when things are bad, but we don't notice when things are good? It's like, it's the weirdest thing. But it went out and I was nauseous, had no appetite. And what else? Migraines, super, super fatigued, no energy. My muscles hurt so much more than they had before. And I was just like, oh, so sick. Which is funny because that's probably how I felt all the time and just didn't realize how bad it was. I don't think I realized how sick I was until it got better for a minute and then it got worse. So my neck went out. I went back, and at this time I was nursing my son, and while I lived with family, my neck went out multiple times for like a couple weeks, and I was like getting really frustrated. So my son was getting close to being 1. He was like a month away. I think it was like 11 months. So I called his pediatrician. He's a big boy. And so I said, not my pediatrician, my son is a big boy. So he's a big boy. So I thought, I think he's old enough for cow's milk, but I'm going to call and make sure. I called. He was like, yes, I think you're okay to wean him off at 11 months onto cow's milk. So I did that because my neck kept going out. I think it was just hard to like hold him. So he's so big, and like he's 26 pounds, you guys. So he was probably like 24, 25 pounds at 11 months old. And so he was really heavy, and lifting him up and down. And so I had the family that we were living with who was helping me a lot. So thank you so much. You're the best. My mother-in-law. She did so much for me while we lived there. And so she helped me a ton watching the kids while I went to appointments, not letting me lift my children for as long as possible after my appointments to try to get it to hold. So now I have more children. Oh, my children are awake. Okay, you guys, I haven't even got to like today. I'm a mess. Okay, they stop. Is he okay? Okay, now we're in my daughter's room because both children are awake, and don't get any time to myself. Also, I just broke my tripod, so we'll see if this is gonna hold for this video. Watch the ads in my video so I can buy a new tripod. You're here too? Okay, so
look at that party pop.
There's a party across the street that has a big blow-up thing, and she's very jealous that we weren't invited to the party.
It has red, yellow, and it's a rainbow slime.
That's so fun. Okay, so we're gonna have some background music because I just need to finish this or else I never will. I know myself too well. Okay, so weaned my son, was like, okay, this should help, as well as having people kind of help me while we lived with family for about a month between houses. So we moved out of our old house, lived with family for a month, and then we were able to move into our new house. So,
Mommy,
what?
careful. Milo's doing the strollers really loud.
It's okay. He's okay. I think they'll understand if there's a little baby in the background. Just don't be too loud, okay? Okay, you guys, being a mom is just the greatest. I just love it so much. Okay, so story time. After I weaned my son, my neck did start holding better. And then we moved into this house, and while we moved, surprisingly, my neck was holding the whole time. And I think it held for about a month from probably end of July, middle of July till like the end of August. It held really good. And then I painted my house. And I swear it held while I was painting because I felt super good while I was painting. And then a few days later, I woke up feeling awful, just awful, awful. And I knew my neck had gone out. And I kind of mentioned what I feel when it goes out. Super nauseous, no appetite, and extremely fatigued.
Got my slippers on.
Those are adorable.
The unicorn slippers, and they're my slippers.
So cute. Okay, so my neck went out after painting, and is she the cutest? Like, did I make the cutest child ever? Everyone says she looks just like me. Huh? Do you look like me? We're just little twins. This is exactly how I looked as a child, so we're just little twins, huh? You can hang out while we finish our chat. Okay, I'm never gonna finish this video. No eating crayons. So, I get super sick, I go to the chiropractor, I get adjusted, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna be good. It's been holding for a month, I'll be fine. It'll go back in and hold.
Is your neck hurting?
My neck is doing kind of okay today, just a little bit of hurting today. Do you help me when my neck hurts? Yeah. What's funny is my neck doesn't actually hurt. I get a knot in my shoulder where all my migraines come up, and I get a migraine. So It's weird. I feel nothing in my neck, but that's what needs fixing, so it's weird. Anyway.
Hey, I don't have a blanket.
Okay, so.
Mommy, I didn't have a blanket in my room. I don't have a blanket, Mommy. I don't have a blanket in my room.
And this guy looks just like his daddy, huh? Everyone says, you look like Daddy. And Ari looks just like me. Really? Okay. So, friends, my neck kept going, my neck went out after painting, and then it kept going out. So it went out on a Friday. By that next Sunday, I was like, it's out again. Like, I feel like it never went back in. We did get gas for the car, huh? So it goes out that next...
But no gas was in our car. We had to put gas in it.
Yep. Okay, let me finish my video, okay? Okay. So, my neck went out on a Friday. I guess it went out on like a Thursday, but I went in on Friday to get adjusted. By Sunday, I knew it was out again. It felt like it never even went back in. I didn't feel the normal sickness after my adjustment. I felt a little different, but not really, to be honest. Monday, I go back in, get adjusted again. It had... again, gone out. The next couple days, it went out again. Went back in Friday. And it was like twice a week for a couple weeks. Well, maybe like 2 weeks. It was like, just kept going out. And then I called and I was like, is something wrong? Like, what is happening? Why does my neck keep going out? My chiropractor was like, okay, sometimes this happens where you start to heal on your own, so you're like, when you go out, it's not going out as far as it used to. So he's like, this could be a good thing that your neck keeps going out. So, by the way, this whole time I was super sick. Like, I'm guessing this is probably how I used to feel all the time, and this last few months I started to feel a lot better, so it just seemed super awful, but it was bad. It was bad. So, he said, let's do a new... Also, this is getting really expensive because it's $50 every time I go, and if I'm going twice a week, that's a lot of money that adds up really fast. So, he's like, you know what, let's get another x-ray, see if things have changed, because that's my guess is what's happening and why you're not holding, because he's doing the adjustment according to how it was before, and if things have changed, then the adjustment's not going to work, or it's not going to hold like it should. So, we get it, a new x-ray, and happy day, I hope, it had changed. My new adjustment was different than what it was before. So wherever, like, I don't remember what he told me, how far it used to be and how far it is now. All I know is it used to be 13 degrees and 2 degrees up and down. And I think he said the up and down was more like 1.1 or something like that. And then, of course, the other two changed because that one was changed. So basically, it was not as far out as it used to be when it was going out, which is really good in the long run, right? That's really good. And so we got a new adjustment done. This is not really on. Okay. Hope you guys like these rainbows. Anyway, so we got the new adjustment done, and I was like, sweet, this one's definitely gonna hold now. I know why it wasn't holding, why I've been so sick. And then 2 days later, so I got adjusted. That was another Friday adjustment. And Sunday, I was like, it's out again.
No, you're done.
Okay, how about 2 more minutes?
No, 5 minutes.
Okay, I get 5 more minutes. So my kids got sick, so I wasn't able to go until that next Friday, so I kind of just leave it out that whole week. Last Friday, now we're at last Friday. If you're following along the timeline, I'm not sure if this is making any sense, but I got readjusted that Friday, and I was just hopeless. I just like cried all day. And after that adjustment, you guys, this has never happened after adjustment. I get really sick. I get a really dull headache. I got the worst migraine I think I've ever had in my life. I have had migraines for 10 years. I do get headaches a lot. So I seriously got the worst migraine I've ever gotten. And I got adjusted Friday morning. Friday night and Saturday morning, I was so sick. My kids actually stayed at grandma's for the weekend because we had plans to go on a little trip. We ended up just going Saturday night because I did feel better by Saturday evening, but it was kind of scary because I'm like, I just got this new adjustment and now I'm got the worst migraine ever. And I felt like I thought my adjustment was holding, but I was just confused. And yeah, it's been crazy. So I was so sick this weekend, insanely sick. And now I'm doing better. I don't know, but what's hard is like when I first got adjusted, even if I was holding, I didn't feel that good. And then after it started holding longer and longer, I felt better and better. And so I'm really hoping it's holding this week. I have another appointment on Friday, so tomorrow when you watch this, I will go in one more time. Not one more time, I'm gonna just keep going in forever, but it's just really frustrating because I feel like I was trying really hard to keep my corrections holding, but I have children and I just have projects and house stuff. I obviously have a headache right now because I'm just rubbing my head, but it's not a migraine, it's just a headache. Just a headache. But I feel like I just haven't felt super good this week, but I haven't felt awful like it does when it goes out. So I'm thinking it's holding this week. I'm just not 100% sure. I'm just frustrated. I was so frustrated on Friday. Like, I got this new adjustment and I thought it was going to work and now it's not holding again. And I think the thing that made me the most frustrated was my chiropractor said this wasn't normal. Surprise, that's what I always get. He said most of my clients by this time after working with me for 9 months do not, they hold their corrections and you're not. And he said some people have really I think he called it loose ligaments or something. And he said if that was the case, it would cost $8,000 and I'd have to go to Colorado for some treatment in order to get it, which sounds more like a surgery. I don't know. It sounded scary to help tighten the ligaments or something in my neck. I don't know. That's probably not explaining it right. But point is, it's just been frustrating and I think the part that makes me the most annoyed is that it was working and I was feeling so much better and now it's not holding. Like if it hadn't been working, then I'd just be like, okay, I give up. I'm not doing this anymore, which has happened a lot with things because they just didn't work and so I just stopped doing it. But now it's just the money is adding up, the time and the energy, and I'm just getting so frustrated at my body for not working and not holding. Because it's been 3 or 4 weeks now of just never holding, not at all. So, I'm hoping that it's just the adjustment is not, it's just a new adjustment and it's just taking my body a minute to get used to it again. I don't know. He said he was hopeful that because I did hold for a month that I don't have that, I don't know, soft ligament thing or muscle or I don't know, soft something that makes it hard to hold your corrections. He said those other patients never held, so we're hopeful but frustrated and a little annoyed, and yeah, that's where we're at. And remember that if I just believe it's going to get better, we're going to get there. We're just in a dip. We're in the dip in the road. We're not to our destination yet, you guys. We're not there yet, but we're going to get there. We're going to keep fighting. We're going to keep pushing until we get there. And send me some prayers that my neck starts holding again, because if it does and I have more energy, I can also give back to you guys by making more content. So, it's a win-win for all of us. Anyway, I told my child I'd do 5 minutes and I probably did way longer than that. So, I'm going to play with my children. And by that I mean probably lay on her bed and read books. But yeah, I don't really know what this video is about. I guess it was just an update and a little complaining and a little chattiness because I knew that at the end of the month when I do my health update, there's no way I could get through all of this and everything going on there. So, I'm sorry. I keep rubbing my head because it just hurts so bad. Okay, that's it. My children keep pushing my tripod around. Okay, I'm gonna end this video. I'm sorry. It's over. It's over. It's done. We are gonna get my neck to hold. I think it might be holding now. When I don't know for sure, that's usually when it's holding. If I'm sure it's out, it's out.
I want to paint.
You want to paint? Okay, I guess we're gonna paint. All right, let's go paint. You guys have a wonderful day. Say some prayers so my neck will hold so that I can stop being super sick and I can paint with my children. Okay, bye.